Why are all of the starts of the episode just us laughing at each other? What's up, guys? You're watching the first episode of The Devil Drives Lada in 2024. Yeah, a new year, same us, same miserable, poor lives. But we're
I lost
here.
more money.
Where's the mindset?
Yeah, that's true. And rip.
Like fat.
Fat's a mindset.
Yeah, like fat.
We're literally how many seconds? 32 seconds in, and we already have a hot take. So, anyway, guys, we took a break. I don't even remember when our last episode was. I know it was after Stonebreaker. Well, obvious. It's been, I think, since about Thanksgiving. I've been sick some of the guys have been sick. We've been on holidays, vacations, traveling. It never lined up for everyone to be on at the right time on the right day. So, yeah, we're back. We got mostly the same crew. We have almost everyone here today except Traven. So, sorry, Traven. He was unable to join us today.
Absent again. That's the third one in a row. Can't fire him though.
Yeah, we can't hire or we can't fire our diversity manager.
Yeah. And I mean that'd be kind of hypocritical. Do you know how many of these episodes I've missed?
Yeah, the amount of...
we didn't know. Oh, here, let me look back at it. Oh,
yeah, hold on. Let's look back at all the YouTube thumbnails and see how many Sean are in.
Since you brought it up.
So we'll do
my last email.
So we'll do some quick intros real quick. I'm Jamie. I'm what am I? I don't even remember how to introduce myself. I'm Jamie. I work on cars. I spent 9 months in a combat role in Ukraine, or spent 9 months in Ukraine. Like 6 of those were in a combat role. I teach people to shoot. I shoot as much as I can. I love guns, gear. I play airsoft for training and Force on Force, and I like memes. So let's go. And oh, by the way, dude, this Russian jacket's getting really hot.
Okay, just making the assumption. Okay, we're in a completely different tropic sphere from where Russia usually lies. And in fact, Russia, regarding
this Russian one's getting hot too.
One of the oldest places on
Earth, where it usually lies.
And you're saying you're hot in a Russian jacket indoors?
Not one, but 2 Russian jackets.
Crazy.
What? They didn't need them anymore. They didn't. He didn't need them anymore.
Was that
tragic?
A bullet hole? Suspicious.
Sus. All right, who's next? Are we gonna get all out of order again?
We're always out of order.
I want to go last.
There is no order.
Oh yeah, we don't believe in that here.
Hi, I'm Avon M50.
I'm the talking Avon.
Oh, you missed your opportunity. You could have said Avon Mask.
What?
Instead of Elon Musk.
Oh my god.
It's close enough, guys.
No one even smiled.
I have to prep my dad jokes somehow, okay?
He's about to be a dad.
Ian's
He's trying to get ready, dude.
He can't even facepalm with the mask on, but he's just like... He's like, you see these filters I paid money for? I'm about to take these off and just shove it full of whatever can suffocate me quickest.
Let's see how long he can hold his breath for.
You'll never know.
It's Aquaman.
All right.
Aquaman.
Oh wait, yeah. I guess this is your introduction. We interrupted your introduction.
Okay.
Oh no, that's fine. I was done.
Oh.
Very
I'll
mysterious.
go next, I guess. So, I'm Zach. I'm the occasional autist on the channel, and
Wait, so are you a part-time autist or a part-time host?
For insurance purposes, I am part-time. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The PTO on autism is it's heavy. So I don't get too much disability from it. Anyway, we just got done relocating 3 states back again because, contrary to popular belief, moving to Tennessee doesn't fix all your problems. So now we're back in South Carolina, the OG rebel state.
Technically, yes.
Restarting life.
Homies.
Yeah, it's the OG rebel state. They were the ones that fired at themselves at Fort Sumter. So
I always forget about that.
So, yeah. It was college kids allegedly that lit off the cannons. Just a bunch of drunk college
The
kids.
freaking Citadel kids. The most
Don't
elite.
change, man. Don't change.
That were probably just some politicians, kids. God forbid, John C. Calhoun. But yeah, and then so it's about, I guess, restarting life again, as if the house fire and then moving to Tennessee wasn't already enough. Now I had to go ahead and get my wife pregnant, and now my life's miserable again. So it's fine. Nah. But yeah, okay, I'm done. I can go.
Nice.
How do I follow that?
Should I have gone last?
All right, I'm Blake.
Hi, Blake.
I am not this again.
It's like anonymous. Airsoft is anonymous.
By profession, I am a mechanic as well, and guns and gear are a hobby for me. I like to play airsoft as well for training, and yeah, that's it for me. Sean, your
Why
turn.
are you laughing?
I was
Thank you,
looking at that. Was like, fucking
You're seeing things, dude. Those mushrooms. I don't think those are mushrooms. You had some gas station ketamine, dude. You gotta calm down.
No, I'm telling you, dude, it was gas station boner pills, dude.
You're standing up, so I already know you're lying.
The snort.
What's up? I'm Sean. I took Jamie to the airport when he went to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I'm,
And then waited because they wouldn't let me on because I didn't have a COVID test, but then it magically appeared before I got on the plane and I showed it to them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you got to your layover in London, and then Interpol came up, and you were like, "You got a license for that firearm there?" I like to think that's how that interaction went in my head.
Bro, it was something like that.
No, I'm in the Army National Guard. I'm a combat engineer. I deployed to Kuwait and Syria in 2019 in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. I'm currently a used car salesman. I have a background in
Arnemian activities.
armed security. And yeah,
Thank you.
I'm
For your
I'm
service.
also a Slav enthusiast and a simp for retro guns and kit.
Yeah.
And retro camos.
It's almost like you and M50 Avon Mask would get together well.
Literally within arm's reach is a Swedish M90 top.
Drip. All right. So today we don't have a specific main topic. However, we do want to focus on a few things. This honestly, I think we could consider this a housekeeping episode. Just say like, hey, we've been gone.
Your housekeeping episode.
But we got Sean.
Couldn't do the mask anymore.
My man started to sweat so bad, his own eyebrows had pores, dude.
Greetings, I'm your host.
You should have done like the Bane thing when you took your mask off, like off camera. So we've been gone a while.
Done the intro. Fuck.
Oh man.
We'll do that next week. Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Let's see. But I'm trying to see, when was our last episode?
I don't know. You
It's
tell me.
been
Pop.
I don't know because I wasn't
a
on it.
while.
I just work here, dude.
Streamed 1 month ago. I thought it was longer than that. Somehow
not
we've
too bad,
only been
honestly.
gone a month. Yeah, so I guess we had
doesn't
one after.
sound right.
I don't know. YouTube's lying, maybe. No, the last one was right after Stonebreaker. That was our last to get together on here.
Iron Dagger.
Or-
Iron Dagger.
Yeah, Iron Dagger. Yeah, I called it Stonebreaker earlier, I think.
That was Operation Iron Dagger.
Yes.
3.
Bro, get your milsim right,
Iron
dude.
Sorry.
3.
I'm
Wasn't
not
that-
a real
hold on.
milsimmer, okay?
Isn't Iron Dagger from a video game universe though? Originally,
Is it? Is that where they got it from?
Prob-
No idea.
Dude, those okay, like
it
milsim
sounds
events
familiar
have
all of a sudden.
some of the like less serious milsim events have such goofy names.
I think all of the Milsim events have goofy names.
They all do, dude. They all-
Operation
Okay,
Black
yeah.
Sword.
Well, I mean, like the Milsim West ones aren't like as cringy as some of the others, but
They're cringy. They're just cringy in a different way because okay. Not to shit on Milson West because you guys do fantastic events, but
However,
the lore side of things and the allegory to like real world places and events is kind of not cool. Yeah, it makes it weird. In my opinion.
yeah, okay, yeah.
it's not Iraq, it's IFAC.
Right. Well, no. Well, Milsim West, they'll just straight up like name real places and real
what?
like
Yeah,
units and
okay,
factions and shit, and it's just like, okay, that's a little much for me.
What I was
Yeah,
thinking
that-
of,
yeah,
guys,
that feels like
was
it
the
could
Delta Force game.
potentially have a negative
I don't
connotation.
love the impression culture side of the Milsim West community. Like, yeah,
It's all fun and games till Al Qaeda
You mean
sues
you don't
them.
like
the whole
you mean you
point
don't
of
like white dudes fucking LARPing as like fucking Iraqis and Pakistanis?
Yeah, dude, you're not supposed
And
to
doing
LARP
the
as real
accent?
people. You're not
You mean
supposed to
you get a
LARP as
problem
real
with that?
people, my guy. That's the point, is to play a character, not like I don't know. It just
I'm
seems
LARPing
weird
as
to me.
Osama bin Laden circa 2008. Like,
Look,
this is
the
the
reason
exact
I'm
kit he
so
wore.
positive is
Welcome
Saddam's
back,
flag.
Saddam Hussein.
What if they actually did that? They showed up in the Pakol and it has like one hole through it, and then like half
Oh,
his
dude,
head is like just
there's
hanging off
guys
the
that
back.
do that. Yeah, there's
That's
guys
so
that do
messed
all
up.
of that stuff. Yeah,
Milsim West war
'cause
crimes.
they have the like insurgency style events now where there's like the non-state sponsored factions, and
Yeah,
dudes
yeah.
will show up
Where you're just making up
in like really disrespectful stuff.
like even the fucking like even the fucking Department of Defense doesn't even do that. Like
Well, I mean,
the
they
Yeah.
trophy
can.
like
Right.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, to be fair, a one oriented around the same universe as like Black Powder Red Earth would make pretty cool sense, because that's pretty much in the future enough where private militaries have become even more great than they already are, and you have like
You have
your
no
terror
idea
factions.
how many people I've heard say the same thing in
Okay, I'll take my
like
opinion and
airsoft.
I'll walk out because apparently everybody thinks the same thing. So
No, I'm saying that's a commonly shared
yeah,
like
because
sentiment.
You're saying you got
that's what's so
there's
terrifying
definitely a
about the
market
universe.
there.
That's what's so terrifying about that universe is like you have these terror cells that still exist today, but that's kind of in the future, looking at like the advancements we've made in technology and the private firms that produce them. Could these terror cells actively use them even up to a very educated standpoint? And the fact is that they'll learn very conventional means of warfare to achieve their goals. And that's what's terrifying, is like, such as like if the Israel attack wasn't by paraglider and AKs, if it was by multiple of drones with explosives on them, how much more terrifying that would be to experience. Because I don't think Iron Dome can target small individual things like that. If they can't know by radar that the paragliders are coming, I guarantee you they wouldn't have been able to see multitude of drones swarming an objective and all exploding. And then we've seen it in Ukraine, and it's terrifying. I don't want to do it, dude. No. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, modern. I know we've talked about this before. I think on the podcast, like modern warfare has become so impersonal and unpersonal, non-personal. Like it's just like seeing some of the videos come out of Ukraine, and I mean even when I was there, you're just like, oh hey, look at this guy on my little drone screen here. Watch me just absolutely schwack him.
I
with
was
this.
Streaming.
literally just talking to my dad about that today. Like
It's more and more a video game now.
Yeah, you now see the perspective in real time from almost every side of every conflict now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, and some of that's like great because in the past, like I love the private media taking over like the whole war in Ukraine and like Israel and Hamas stuff, and all that's only possible because the mass amount of like videos we're getting out of it from guys like running GoPros and drone screens and stuff like that. But like when I was in Ukraine, like it really was kind of just like a game in the sense of like you're flying a drone and it's like, hey, watch this guy get schwacked. Oh, got him. And it's like, it's almost like you're watching like a React video or something, or like epic fails on YouTube montage. Right? Realistically, dude's family is never going to see him again because he's in a billion pieces. It's like that doesn't really sink in like it used to.
A war he probably didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah,
it's just deep.
On that note, we have a few housekeeping things.
Nice.
So gonna go ahead and apologize. So we run the podcast on Discord. Well, we don't run it on Discord, but we all are in here on Discord. And our nitro ran out, and I didn't notice until the podcast. So excuse the lack of audio and visual quality this week, but it will be better for the next episode.
God damn it, we need a soundboard.
We don't have a producer.
Yeah. We all yeah, we don't. That would be nice though. Why don't we hire a producer with the money that we don't make? If anyone wants to produce us for free.
We're looking.
I mean, we can hire some Ukrainian guy for $5 a day.
Oh, man. I'm not trying to be really grim, but can you just imagine? It's like, yeah, we were supposed to receive our edited video this week, except dude's position decided it was going to get bombed, so this week's episode's not coming out, guys.
Sorry for the delay on the episode. We have not heard from Artyom for 4 days now. If anyone knows how we could get in touch with him, that would be great. Thank you. Bye.
It was also rumored that our team was working on Circle 2. We believe the Russians had intel on his location because of this.
Oof size large right there.
Well, it could not end because they took out power. We were without power for 3 days.
That's happened. I've had that happen. There was there was a tank that would overwatch our like base, and we ran all of our power off a generator, and
so y'all don't have 12-volt chargers off the tanks. Come on, guys. Like,
so like for about 2 weeks, they basically locked down the only road in and out of the base, on the front, or like the fob, I guess, that we were at. And so we only had enough gas to run the generator for like 30 minutes every few days.
That's rough, dude.
Oh my god.
So
did y'all have showers, or did y'all just like do your like baby wipes? Yeah, so you just do like
baby
wipes.
So after a while we did actually. So we built like this. We found a bunch of concrete blocks, and I was not a part of this. But so I won't take the credit for it. But like guys built like this concrete kind of like box. And then we got like a big black like 55-gallon drum kind of thing, and put it on top. And then someone like made a little spout on the bottom of it, and it actually worked fantastic. Like it would heat the water because it's a black barrel up in the sunlight. It was pretty solid.
And I'm guessing you used recollected rainwater and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Recollect rainwater, and then also we had access to a well, so we tried to like not overly use it. Because we didn't want to run out of, it wasn't really drinking water, but it was still, water for cooking as long as you boil. It's still very practical water. But yeah, it was great for showers and just like washing clothes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been like 2 months since we've had an episode. This is our first episode back. Sorry for the audio visual kind of dip. We'll get Discord Nitro back up next episode.
You said 1 month earlier.
I know, but YouTube lied because it was right after
Oh.
Iron Dagger, which was not 1 month ago. That was 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think I was there anyway.
You were not. Actually.
First of all, you wasn't even there.
Yeah. So sit down.
We
so,
were gonna do we were thinking about doing one episode when I did arrive in the town right about Christmas time, just so all of us would be like in a room. But
that would have been nice, honestly. We talked
we
about
can still
it.
do it. I live here now.
We didn't.
Fine.
I mean, that's true too.
Yeah.
3 of
We can
4
even
of
do
us.
like down
5
the
of us
road
are
whenever
still
Ian
South Carolina.
moves, whenever that happens.
Yeah,
we can just
I'll
do
just
a
go
road
fuck myself, I guess.
Whose fault is that? No, I'm kidding.
Working on it. All right, I'm working on it.
So kind
trip.
of
We could do, like, a
going.
road episode.
Oh, dude, we could.
To go see
We
him.
could.
Do what?
Road
A road trip
episode.
episode.
We'll do, like,
Actually,
yeah,
Oh hell yeah!
speaking on that topic, I keep saying Stonebreaker instead of Iron Dagger. Stonebreaker's in April. We could, in theory, all get to that.
where's that in South
when?
Carolina again?
When
GTI.
in April?
I don't remember. It's up on Third Coast's website. Third Coast Airsoft.
Because I am not gonna be available until like the end of the month. So
I believe it's at the end. Don't quote me on that though.
Excuse me.
I think it is as well.
So yeah, for some reason like the 27th is popping into my head, but I don't know if that's actually true.
I got to take the off. It's hot. My dad's a reptilian and doesn't like to use air conditioning. Don't tell the overlords. But that's the secret.
Yeah, we could do like a little road trip episode. Once again, I mean that didn't work too great last time when we were at Iron Tiger, but we can try to figure something out if we have everybody in.
You'll be hopefully road tripping down to where I'm at, and I'll have a little more of a better situation than we were dealing with in the parking lot at Iron Dagger.
That's much yeah. We wanted to do an episode there so bad, and the internet was just complete garbage. We couldn't even get like hardly send like pictures of videos to each other because it was so bad, much less a live stream.
Yeah.
So
I do have one proposition.
What?
We don't go as Western forces, so we can actually wear green and actually be camouflaged.
Yeah.
I might be down.
Well,
for
if
that.
you want to play in the woods, yeah.
Western, so you mean we got to play as Eastern forces? So we have to talk like.
Yeah, but the issue.
No, it's not North and West. They're not like big on that.
Yeah, but the issue is with that though. There's no green in April in South Carolina.
Yeah.
God damn it! You're killing all my jokes.
Multicam is still literally the god tier camo for
green
like
camo.
M80. He spent so much money on his.
Or we could just. Or I could get some more blue camo and we could just say fuck it and go as Serbians and just absolutely war crime the shit out of them.
Are you Western forces?
Are you Eastern forces? I would match that with multicam Alpine, dude, and I guarantee it would look so nice.
That would kind of be a drip, honestly.
We should see if TCA will let us be like just like a third faction.
The Third Coast. I mean, come on.
Are you Eastern, Western? No, we're Northern, dog. We have multicam Alpine.
What was that one that we went to?
We're moderate Germany. We're not East or West. We're moderate Germany.
Who put that one on? The first one that me and you went to, Jamie.
That was Third Coast. That was Stonebreaker.
No.
Yeah,
no, that was
my first mill.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. It was at GTI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was like it was a different format. There was 3 factions and everything.
Oh
yeah, there was this. It was Eastern, Western civilians, and a team that wore black. There is technically 4 factions. I don't remember how that worked. I know the civilians, because the civilians were kind of sick. Like, they could walk around like and have concealed weapons, and then just like decide who and when they wanted to, screw with, and then dip out and be like, no, I'm friendly.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
That'd be lit. That'd be really
cool.
Well,
I don't know how
what we did. Do you remember we wore regular clothes under our camis, and we would take our shit off and put it in a backpack. Yeah,
I think. I think you're right. I think I had mine in my backpack. And then one of the guys we played with at the time, at the local field before we found a much better local field, he was a civilian, and he was like, remember he helped us out? Like, he just tagged along with us for a little while. I forgot his
he
name.
also helped us like negotiate with
Mhm.
leadership
It's like it's
from his
13
side
hours and the people
to betray the
run
other
along
team.
with them.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't fight for my country.
Yeah, he literally helped us betray the other guys. I forgot about that. Because we were like talking, and he was doing the talking for us. He's like, we're civilian. Like, okay, and then we walk out, just smoke everybody. And he was like, I'm civilian.
Oh, I was talking about the time that we convinced him and his team to like betray the people they were working with and work with us instead. Like the whole team.
I thought that was all a part of the same thing. Maybe not. I don't remember. Yeah, it was chaos. We absolutely that was clutch actually knowing somebody on kind of a unique dynamic like that. It was so open. So ironically we actually role played it pretty well, just unintentionally. Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, let's
LARP as fuck, dude.
yeah, bro. Milsim LARPing. But yeah, let's try to do Stonebreaker. That'd be sick. What else we got? Oh, guest speakers. We're gonna have more guest speakers this year. We only I think had one in all of last year, and multiple times I was like, oh, we're gonna get more. Well, we're actually gonna get more now. I've had several people want to be on, and I have a pretty decent list of people that have asked me. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to try and get through like all of my Ukrainian stories first. And realistically, I just don't think that's a realistic expectation when, it's kind of difficult for me to sit down and just kind of like try to write an episode about just stories in like chronological order. And like looking back on videos, because I want to try to get like everything perfect. So I think what we're just kind of do is I'll start having guest speakers on, and then we'll fill the gaps in about kind of where my timeline was in that. Or if we were together, if we weren't, or, how that works. So we're going to do that more this year. I don't know when we'll have the first one on, but my goal is probably the next 2 or 3 episodes. We'll try to get somebody on. And then maybe just do like once a month, have a guest speaker from there. So that way it's not just us same 5-6 guys talking, and you'll get just a little bit of variety. And it's like we've said before in the podcast, this podcast isn't really for us. I mean, it's not really for like an audience. Like, we're not trying to go viral on YouTube or make money from this. I mean, I think we could all agree maybe those would be fine, but we're really doing this more for us. Like, we're hanging out, just being friends. Like, we were talking like pre-podcast, like we've really missed this, just hanging out, talking once a week, spending time with each other. And my main reason for starting this was to spend time with my good friends and to share my stories before I forgot them or before they were lost. Because I think preserving like stories and history is really important. And I was only able to capture so many pictures and videos, and but I'd really like to share those memories with the world and the stories. And I think it would be selfish for me to say, hey, these are all my stories. Anyone else who ever wants to share theirs can, start their own podcast if they want to, or, something like that. So we do want to be sure, we're kind of getting a variety of stories and friendships on there, or on here, because I made a whole lot of good friends over there, and I still talk to a lot of them, and they all have stories just as good, or if not far better in some cases than mine. So I do want to share those and give those guys a platform to share their fantastic stories on, because we still have our group chat, and they're still from Ukraine, and there's still a lot of my friends over there, and some of them are doing some crazy stuff. I won't go into too terribly much detail, but some of them have some videos of them just absolutely stacking bodies, and just overall fighting for their lives and fighting for what they believe in, and that's pretty awesome. So, yep, got that out of the way. What were some other? Hold on, I have stuff written down on my phone today of what we wanted to talk about. How we're gonna pick back up? We're still not gonna have a set schedule. I'd like to say we'll be here every Sunday. I think that's just a bit unrealistic. So we'll be back.
#doubt.
Yeah, we'll be back as many Sundays as we can. At 7 o'clock ish, because, well, that never tends to work out either. So, we'll be back. Hopefully, at least a few times a month. 2-3 times a month, and depending on if we're on if we manage to get 4 times in a month, we're definitely gonna try and get at least one guest speaker in a month. So something like that. We'll try to figure out some kind of ratio there. I mean, if anyone else has anything to add to this while I'm rambling, please pitch in. What are some goals y'all
This is
have?
your show, brother.
Brother.
Today's sponsor is Love Honey for 10% off of your next
toy.
and that you may or may not be sticking on the end of a gun.
I love your honey.
Oh
for just
my.
Dude, I love the pictures of that. I think those all started when CNN released the deadly attachments videos, or the graph.
It also is in part is that print shoot repeat got hit so hard by YouTube that he had to do a complete editing overhaul at the beginning of his videos to do music and stuff. And then one of his sponsors, apparently just out of nowhere, was I think it was Love Honey or Lion's Den. It was one of the actual toy companies approached him. It was like, "Yo, we can still sponsor your stuff." Don't ask me how or why, but his first video, he's like, "It's a bit odd, but we're going to see how these things do at the end of barrels." And I'm like, "I'm here for it." You know what?
Oh, dude, are you talking about the fleshlight thing?
Yeah.
When he put the fleshlight on the gun. And
Oh,
was
well,
shooting
print
it?
shoot repeat recently. Yes, his sponsors pulled or something like that. So one of the sex toy companies is actually sponsoring his new stuff.
I love
That's
it.
why he's been putting stuff on the end of AR barrels that he prints.
That's
so
amazing.
because 3D printed stuff is against YouTube, stuff now. So for him to still stay somewhat monetized, or at least to have sponsors, that's actually coming into play now. Apparently,
Based? Question mark?
Exactly right. I'm like, whatever gives you money and views, I guess, my dude. I'm like, honestly, this is really tempting just to watch. Because at one point he's like, you gotta lube it up just a little bit before you just
Yeah.
He just frames it on there, and I'm like. There's a lot of jokes that Garantham even could just be making right now.
The most wholesome content creator ever could still
Fire
be
in
making
a
the jokes.
hole. But oh yeah, the recent 5.7 video today was definitely something.
I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it. I got the notification while I was at church or doing something
it was
today.
so good.
TLDR, 5.7 penetrates decently well. It doesn't shock the body well enough to want to carry as an everyday round, 9mm or 45 or anybody else, because it's so much like a rifle round. Unless you are trying to defeat body armor, there's no point in carrying it, especially for how expensive it is.
Did he test the different not brands, because FN
he did 3 different ammunition types, one of which was AAC's Hype X or whatever it is. That's supposed to be an expansive round. He used, I think, one type of Hornady, and then he used another just FMJ type, I think.
Okay.
And he did that on ballistic gel and the
Spear Gold Dot.
Yeah, and Spear. That's right.
Yeah, it was Spear Gold Dot. AAC. Was it AMAX?
It was one of AAC's expansive ones.
Yeah.
Well, Hornady makes the AMAX, don't they?
No. So there's a. Is it AMAX or VMAX?
It's VMAX for AAC's one.
VMAX. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, same fucking, similar concept.
Yes.
With the plastic tip.
Yeah, because FN specifically, FN specifically has a whole line of different calibers for that.
Yeah,
because they have
he said a lot
the blue
of the
tip,
actual armor
the
piercing
incinerate
ones he can't get a hold of because they're I think
Really?
limited in sale right now. Yeah.
Okay.
He said it's almost impossible to actually get any armor piercing ammunition for it right now.
If you look up specifically FN, I found it before, has a chart of what they specifically make for the 5.7. It's everything from incinerary to ballistic tip to armor piercing incinerary.
So they're gonna offer all this stuff. They're like, dude, we promise it's really cool. You totally won't always just shoot your girlfriend on the other side of your door. I promise.
It's frangible. It doesn't
And,
go through
like, it's a
sheet
cool
rock.
round.
Penetration, Batman.
And that's not to say it's not a cool round. He also did show off though a P90, or I should say a PS90, the
PS90.
semi-auto
Yeah, the
version.
PS90 with the civilian version with the 16.
Was it a 13 or a 14-inch barrel, or was it full 16? Yeah,
They
and that
only come in
had
16s in the
400 more-
baby.
That had 400 more FPS for the 5.7 than the actual 5.7 handgun. And
Yeah.
as he was stating, is like that has more application for the 5.7 than you would want to carry in that pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I always liked the concept.
And then he made
but
the joke
I think,
about it being expensive 22 Magnum.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
because someone did an edit where the one guy's like, "Honey, get the kids" and everything like that, and someone did an ad edit for it, but it said like, "Let me clear the house real quick with my expensive 22 Magnum," like whatever it is.
not to shill for Keltec by any means, because I really don't like Keltec, but they kind of proved that point with like the CMR and PMR 30 like 8 years ago. It's like 33 rounds of 22 Magnum and like just a Glock 19 or 17 size frame.
Is so much FUD with Keltec that's why I don't touch them as a company, is because we knew a guy at our local range. They literally wouldn't say his name because they were so terrified that just saying his name by bad luck would summon him to the location. And this guy literally ND'd in the parking lot or on the range at least 8 times in his total time of me visiting, okay? Like, there's like 3 holes through his driver's side door because he kept NDing his Keltec in the fucking car.
Oh
like, this dude is literally, and he's so old. There was one time
just a
I'm on the
walking
range,
red flag.
I think I was there with my ex at the time. This is how long ago it was. I was there with my ex, and we were shooting, and this other guy, and Sean knows the name, but there's this other guy there. His name is John Allen, and he's there shooting with some girl he's trying to impress. And the old guy is trying to give him shooting tips. And the old guy literally is like, if you want to see how good you are, all right, this is what I can tell you. What you need to do is turn around, close your eyes, and then turn around with them still closed and shoot and see if you still hit your target. That's how you know you're a good shooter. And we're on an... And
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh, we gotta go right now. But he told this guy to do that, even though it's completely, there's no, you're not doing that. No, by no training standard or by any legal means should you be doing that at indoor range. At your own property, sure, whatever, dude. Here, no. And then he was trying to give the girl tips on shooting by telling her about, I think it was the trigger. He's tried to say that it's as sensitive as rubbing a girl's nipples when you want her to. And this is like an 80-year-old looking dude to this teenage girl. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna pack it up. I'm going to like the gun desk at this point, and I'm like telling my buddy, I'm like, I don't know if I'm coming back.
Tactical.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I was like, I don't trust this anymore. He's like, dude, we try to get rid of him. The owner, he buys so much stuff. Like, they were like, dude, all we got to do is tell him that this 45 caliber is like the next best thing. He'll buy it right away. He's like, so the owner doesn't want to ban him because he gives us a bunch of sales. I'm like, you're milking FUDs. That's disrespectful, not to them, to yourselves. I was like, I'm done.
One of my favorite FUD lores to date is still when like I'll be at the range or whatever, if I go to a public range or something like that. Or I'll be like third party in a conversation, like somebody will come up as a third party. Like I was teaching a friend, not teaching, but just kind of giving some shooting advice to a friend the other day, probably 2 or 3 months ago now. And this guy was like, no, you should the gun should surprise you when it goes off. It's like, just pull the trigger and you shouldn't know. It should just surprise you. Don't anticipate it. I was like, well,
always expect an ND.
Well, no.
Or always expect a malfunction. Like
he's
nice.
like, yeah, just
right,
relax and it should surprise you. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. You should know that, when exactly your gun's going off. Like, forget writing the wall and, trigger reset. Just throw all that out the window. Just let it surprise you.
All right. Yeah, I just hate dude. Audit your guys. Like,
yeah,
anybody that like sufficiently is even knowledgeable will completely understand, even if you question them, because there's so many out there you don't know. Like,
yeah, we can't stress this enough. We've said this so many times, beginning in episode 1 that has never aired. Vet your instructors, please. Like, if there's anything that you think, might be weird, or even if you don't think it's weird, just question everything. If they say they should surprise you, be like, why? And they're like, because you shouldn't anticipate it. And you're like, but
why?
yeah. and you could be like, well, I'm not, you should anticipate it. Shouldn't you know when your gun goes off? Or like, and they're like, yeah, just ask questions.
To be fair, I guess if you're surprised, there's less likelihood of flinching. But I'm pretty sure those same instructors will probably tell you that Glocks aren't good because they shoot low left.
Like, yes, you shouldn't be flinching. And I actually was talking to a friend about this the other day. She's a new gun owner and working on her concealed carry and has been hitting her range with it. And I was like, one of the questions was, I'm flinching at the range when other people are shooting around me. And it's like, well, that's not a bad thing in the sense of, that's human nature. I mean, you hear loud bang next to you, you're going to flinch. But at the same time, that's a learned behavior that you can overcome. The more you're around that, the more you're shooting, the less that's going to, like, surprise you.
Hello, Brazilian DI. Yeah, we want this lady to have, like, guns shooting bullets right past her so she doesn't flinch. Oh, you said 2 of your guys already died this week because that's dangerous? Oh, man, that's crazy.
Doesn't the French Foreign Legion do that? They, like, do that drill where it's, like, that buddy drill or whatever where they, like, try to shoot around their battle buddy or something?
Is that dumbest
real?
shit ever.
It might have been it because they were wearing some kind of
I mean, I know that's real,
and...
but I can't remember who exactly uses it. I know, I'm pretty sure there are some Russian groups that do that. I don't know if
it's fair to say that anybody that we probably have not come into contact with, and as some foreign military, probably has had one guy go, "This seems like a good idea," and they were like, "What do I know? I have only known guns for military use." And then we're all private citizens. Like, it's not good, dude. It's not good. Don't do that. That's dangerous.
Hey, next time you're gonna do something like that, fucking don't.
Once you take that idea,
can you don't?
Shove it down your fucking...
Can you just not?
Yeah, vet your instructors. Vet anyone giving you advice. Like, the internet.
Why do we have so many
information.
training accidents?
Yes. Like, go find just some people that know what they're doing online. Grand Thumb. I mean, hell, even Lucas from T-Rex Arms has decently good advice about just, like, trigger pull and stuff. I mean, don't listen to his tactics. But, like, trigger pull and, like, how to hold a gun, stuff like that.
Second best follow-up to this. No one instructor will get you to where you need to be.
Yes.
You need to consistently challenge your own ideals as well as the ones you have learned from different people. If it is consistent enough, the doctrine will line up and it will coincide as it needs to, especially when it comes to basic shooting. And that's why Lucas is good for basic shooting. Obviously, you're not going to go to him to figure out if you're going to do an L-shaped ambush on a convoy. Okay, it's not like he doesn't teach that. He's not going to.
He might try.
Grand Thumb. Go to Slade over at SC Irregulars. Like, go to people who have done that for a job, can actually give you tips and tricks on how to do that. Should it be legal to learn that? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So don't just search on Google instructors that teach me L-shaped ambushes, because odds are that's going to flag you. But what teacher can teach me how to create IEDs in my basement? Like, as if the FBI won't come. But VPN.
Shout out to Blakewater 0326 and Maneuver Training Solutions.
Yep.
They're doing a lot of good stuff that other people are not offering.
Yep.
Do the Google searches.
Google. With your VPN off, and also make sure that your phone is beamed to your computer, so that way you can just double your chances of good luck. Not the bad kind, I assure you.
Just ask your Alexa.
Alexa, how do I make a shaped charge out of copper? Like, fucking EFP in my basement. Like, fuck.
God damn it, Zach.
That's
Alexa, show me 2 ingredient spicy cocktails.
Zach, you're either gonna get us canceled or get us fucking no-knocked.
It's actually funny because so the Amazon Prime series Terminal List we watched, my parents were like, "What's an EFP?" And I'm like, "Oh, those are really scary. Actually, they're hard to make, but I'm like, those are terrifying." They're like, "What do they do?" I'm like, basically, it uses like science and some math that's too difficult for me to tell you. Basically, on projection of this like randomized fucking metallic piece of shit that any terrorist could come up with out of another bomb, basically shapes itself to penetrate into a vehicle and then expand or explode and what have you. I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff to it, and it's terrifying because it was pretty much what made the U.S. go, "Huh, Rugman knows stuff." So we had to supercharge our vehicles.
That was honestly one of like the saddest things, like going into Afghanistan, like circa early 2000s and up to like 2010 specifically, is like how bad we underestimated their capability of knocking out our vehicles, and then our failure to adapt.
Well, because at first, to be fair, the vehicles were doing okay. Like they'd still, especially because the Brits still ran open tops all through, I think, like 2009. So anytime their convoys would get hit, it'd be an immense amount of death count because of it. But they were using just ordinary explosives. So depending on concussive force and direction, sometimes it would completely allow everybody to live out of the vehicle, but disable the vehicle. And then once they started to actually adapt, and because I think by that point al-Zarqawi, or however you pronounce his name, started really becoming the force within Iraq. He's the one that found ISIS too. So like he had been doing militant stuff for a long time. It was after Saddam Hussein's forces fell. He became the laid head, essentially.
Fucking Tim Kennedy had something to do with.
Allegedly, I don't know, but because
I forgot about that.
Family names go a long way, and sometimes families aren't directly tied, even if they share the last
his
two
whole
names.
Thing is like,
family.
Yeah, I was like a part of the raid.
On al-Zarqawi. It might have been him. I think it was in Indonesia, but al-Zarqawi. I don't know how to say his name properly. I haven't spoken any Arabic ever, so I butcher their names all the time. But or even Pashto or whatever his name might be, but he was a lead head, and he had basically funneled tons of funds through AQ. Once AQ started having issues, he did ISIS and he did several other groups, and he was the reason why they became very intelligent in ambushes, very intelligent in explosives, and he had an entire cell network. So if you look him up, it's actually like really crazy stuff to understand. Like he just became this figurehead all of a sudden. And I think at one point, potentially, the CIA were well aware of his influence, but used it against other foreign nations at one time. But then obviously, as it usually comes to, is like, oh, he's no longer working for us. So he's bombing Americans now. So we got to kill him.
I felt it was only fitting, since we summoned Tim Kennedy into this chat, that I put up our cringe tier list.
Is Tim Kennedy at S? That's crazy. Terran is.
Terran Butler.
I didn't actually see this. I wasn't here for this episode.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is our... I feel like every time we mention any of their names, we should summon them. Summon the meme tier list.
So A-list, who's far left and who's far right?
Far left is Donut.
Oh, okay. And then it's far left Jocko or something?
No. Far left is Donut. Far right is Jim. What's his name? Is it Jimmy? It's the guy, the LARPy dude. What's his freaking name?
What guy?
On the right in A tier, far right.
I can't see that picture.
Hold on. I forgot his name.
Zoom in on it.
It's potato quality.
Larry Vickers beside him, right?
Okay, but hold on. All right, an F tier. Oh, print sheet repeats down.
Oh, is that Greg Wong?
Yes. I don't know why I thought his name was Jimmy. I was like,
and his name is Greg. What the fuck's wrong with
I don't know. I was like, it's Jim. I don't know what I was thinking.
He's like,
it's because Jamie's racist, and every Asian dude is named Jimmy.
Yo. He said, "Do I got another post?"
There's Lucas. Is that Demolition Ranch?
Yeah, he's in C and D. Demo Ranch.
Demo Ranch though. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was what are they called? Something. What is it? Classic Firearms. I didn't know if it was the guy from that.
Oh, I forgot about Clint from Classic Firearms.
Oh, I did too. Fun fact.
Who's
he was friends with my ex.
Is that
on the far left?
That's Carnicon, isn't it?
Dude, Carnicon.
Yeah.
Dude, get Ashley.
Okay, he needs to be an F. I don't know why you guys are putting him there, because he definitely was F tier.
We found something about him that we stuck him in E. I don't remember what it was.
Oh.
Go back and watch this episode, guys. It was honestly kind of us doing detective work on all your favorite gun tubers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got to do some lore research on this. Clearly,
and we have masked and unmasked version of admin because unmasked is just a FUD status FUD, and F is base.
Hold on. So the far right of D tier is that Elbow Destruction?
That's Travis Haley, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it probably is Travis.
Bro,
it is. Or Iraq.
Travis
for,
Haley
contract.
would be F tier for me.
Who in F tier?
He's
Travis
got
Haley.
some very, very like fuddy takes on stuff.
He's got some bad takes that we talked about in the last episode.
Also,
well, again, I wasn't in that episode.
He's very like BoomerCon politically.
I wouldn't quite say Larry Vickers is A tier.
That's not Larry Vickers.
Vickers? What?
Is that not Larry Vickers? In the resolution I'm looking at.
I know, I'm sorry, I saved it in a low resolution on accident.
Number 3.
You're so dumb.
Is that who you're talking about?
It looks like Larry Vickers in this resolution.
Oh, you're talking about who is that? Brain.
Are you talking about the third guy with
the third guy in A tier next to Matt Best and
that's Mike Glover. Sean.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well,
and Mike Glover has some garbage.
How I'm looking
takes,
at this
dude.
right now, he definitely looks like Larry Vickers.
I couldn't think of his name.
I stand by my statement.
I would almost actually be willing to argue that he's almost in the same tier as Tim Kennedy, not necessarily at being S. I would probably put him between A and S easily.
Yeah, I think the reason Tim Kennedy went to S is because of his corporate shilling on top of his standard stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Mike does that too, though.
I mean,
yeah, he definitely does.
Oh, well, then maybe we should move him because what sent me with Tim Kennedy was his corporate shilling and then his Tim Kennedy store with his face plastered all over the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
USAA is paying him a ton of money right now because all I see is the ads with Tim Kennedy. Like, you should train, you need to be on rifles and everything. And I'm always in the
read
comments.
The Facebook comments on those. The Facebook comments are out of control, absolutely bashing him. It is so funny.
I love it.
There's a lot of people that don't divide.
I partook in one of those. One guy was like, "Oh, Tim Kennedy, the real American hero. This is what all military men should strive to be like," or something. And then somebody said something, and they were like, "You know, he never served on or deployed on an actual team, right?" Or something like that. And the guy was like, "What are you talking about? He is the epitome of special forces," and it goes on and on. It was gold, dude.
He's Green Beret certified, isn't he? Because he was saying that for a long time, and then.
Bro, I don't fucking know what he is, and I honestly don't give a shit.
I don't care. Yeah.
Just because you've done a couple cool things, and he still has a decent number of deployments, but the way he talks himself up and the super big ego of I am Special Forces Green Beret. You should listen.
He uses that for financial gain, and that's just not cash money.
Yeah, and literally one guy I brought up.
Pull up.
Yeah,
that's up there though with Mike Lowe. His name was one of the guy that's allegedly credited with the death of Osama bin Laden, even though all of his other team guys say he wasn't.
You mean Robert O'Neill?
Oh, Robert O'Neill. Yep.
Yeah,
I said Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I was also gonna say
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe's the actor.
Oh, damn you, Rob Lowe! You can't keep getting away with it.
Sean's laugh.
Yeah, but same thing goes for Robert O'Neill. And he uses that he was on Twitter arguing about one of his shitty opinions about something he really didn't have any place to argue on. And he literally claps back with well, my body armor still has Bin Laden's blood on it. And all of and then just proceeds to list all of his awards that he's ever gotten. And
fragile male ego right there.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
No
one gives a shit.
Not to stray too far from that topic, but a little bit. I'm not going to get into the details of this by any means, and I do not know enough about the subject to say anything on this. But there's actually some interesting reading about lone survivor Marcus Luttrell.
Yeah.
There's some interesting lore about that if you do some reading about some after action reports on what actually happened.
And what the families of the deceased say, and so on and so forth.
From my
There's a trail of
understanding, from
questions.
what I have read, which is all public information, none of the families and Marcus of the deceased from his team and Marcus Luttrell are on good terms. From what I have read.
Huh.
Yup.
That there's I don't know enough about. I'm not saying anything's true or isn't true. I love the movie Lone Survivor. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
And I mean, and at the end of the day, it's his word against who else?
It is worth
Against
noting that
no
one else is there. And not to be disrespectful by any manner, as like none of us have any means to do so. However, there is information out, should you wish to go looking for it, of NCIS reports, I believe, about the evidence they found on the mountain, which do not collaborate with Marcus Luttrell's claims in his book and by his word. And when it came to, I believe, the information of what happened just after the events with the families, such as Danny and all of them, those family members are not on good terms with Marcus due to not the movie, but how he was stating what had happened on the mountain. Specifically, the movie had nothing to do with it at the time frame. This had happened well before that. And I think it was just due to the fact that you can go through a lot of existing trauma, and a lot of people don't want to pry for obvious reasons. Because we want to be respectful to a degree. But there is trail of evidence out there from official reports that would lead one to believe that there is more than meets the eye.
Like what?
That basically the accusations that have been made, not by me, but by people that, you know, have done some amount of, you know, their own research, are basically he's lying about what happened. And
like Marcus may not have actually been with his team most of the time.
And that he essentially...
Oh, and that's why he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
NCIS said on several of the locations that he deems they engaged at, and he was with like Axe in them were never near. And so you can obviously chalk that up to it could have been like he was in deep combat. You're not going to really keep situational awareness of like, oh yeah, I was by this rock that's shaped by a dick. Like you're focusing on like RPGs and PKMs lighting you up. But essentially where Marcus plots himself on the mountain and his chain of events, they didn't line up with the bodies.
You also have
casings.
to realize he tumbled down a mountain. And I'm sure you don't just, that doesn't just happen to you and you not have a concussion.
Oh yeah. He got literally slapped around like a fucking wet
probably. I mean, he could very well be recanting the events that he truly believes happened.
Yes.
You know? But
exactly.
Yeah. Like it could literally be chalked up to a trauma response or a concussion response.
Yeah. I'm not just gonna.
But there are a lot of
piece of shit unless I have like hard evidence.
Yeah.
That they're
by no means are we saying.
Which is why he hasn't been charged or nothing's come up of it, because just because NCIS confirms one thing on the field doesn't necessarily mean that Marcus was lying.
Yeah.
It's just there are things that are a bit weird about it that I don't think people knew about, and if you were curious about it, you can go find them. They're open source now.
Yeah. It is some good reading if you want to just kind of flip through it. But I mean, and it kind of stems. I think we've talked about this before. It's like just kind of choose your heroes or who you look up to, or you know, stuff like that carefully. Like, you know, or who you worship. Like Tim Kennedy has an entire. This all started from Tim Kennedy having like a whole band of worshipers like on social media. Like, there's plenty of people that are like the epitome of U.S. Special Forces.
Well,
is Tim
they
Kennedy,
carried over
you know?
from the MMA community.
True. But a lot of them are also just bro vets in general. Like, like one of the guys that I saw in like the Facebook comments was like, I served, you know, 15 years ago, and I'm sure Tim Kennedy's, you know, this and that, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, realistically, if you went into any of like, if you went up to the First Bat Ranger barracks, I was like, yo, hey guys, y'all know Tim Kennedy, right? He's my good buddy. I'm pretty sure they'd all laugh at you. Like, you know, it's just choose your war heroes and your life heroes in general carefully, and then just
I was actually going to say this. That
people are
brings me to
flawed.
this though, where this is like one of those things that's been questioned for a long fucking time and was never shined light on, never got in the movie, nothing. Pat Tillman, the Navy SEAL who was shot by friendly fire by accident. But like the way that all was set up and like how NCIS conducted the investigation and stuff, it is fucking sus.
Interesting.
Like the family didn't even know he was dead, I think, for close to 2 weeks or something like that. Like the army made some excuse why they couldn't tell the family Pat was killed in an ambush. Even though so Pat's convoy came under attack, and I think his team leader or somebody told him he needed to try to get high ground to get an advantage over where they were getting shot at from, which makes tactical sense. But then like while Pat was up there, he was killed by a 5.56 round, if I'm remembering correctly. And they said that the velocity that it entered his body, it had to be really fucking close. Like somebody would have had to come right up onto him to do it.
Dang.
And yeah, it's all suspect, dude. Like it was because and apparently, oh, and then after the fact, his team guys burned all of his stuff, including his journal.
In what world is that okay? I don't know of a world where that's okay.
Yeah, because so Pat Tillman was an NFL star. He joined the U.S. Army and went into the Ranger Battalion in 2002. In 2004, he was tragically killed by Taliban, or so it said he was. Tillman had. Oh, this is all detailing. Let me see. But it's Pat Tillman mourned their loss. Helicopters flew over football stadiums in his honor. Man, it's breaking all this shit up. Dozen soldier, unsurprisingly, immediately hailed Tillman as a war hero. Seven's feeling mourned their loss. They had a feeling that something wasn't quite right, and although his mother pressed the army for more details, they stuck to the initial story about Pat Tillman's death. Around the same time, anti-war voices are getting louder about the United States and the photos of the torture of Abu Ghraib prison. So that's about the same time that those came out, and I think it's said that Pat had some very anti-war takes within his team while operating, and that he was going to expose certain contributions that his team had made to the war.
Ooh. I've heard, this is purely my speculation and just he said, she said, I heard that he was actually pretty good people.
Yes. So in the initial report, or at least the military told the family he was killed by Taliban. But when the report came out, he was killed by friendly fire. They knew he was killed by friendly fire, but told the family it was the Taliban. This is all pretty much bringing up his family and his legacy, essentially, from his grandfather, who was at Pearl Harbor. Yeah, this is allthat'sinteresting.com. I don't actually know this is a legitimate, big source, but how did Pat Tillman die? About a month after Pat Tillman's death, the Army came forward with a shocking announcement. Tillman had not been killed by insurgents. He was shot by his fellow soldiers. As they took aim at him, he yelled, "I'm Pat fucking Tillman," to get them to stop. It was the last thing he ever said. And we obviously don't know if that could be true, because that could be third source, anybody's opinion, whatever it might be. Tillman's mother, Mary, was later asked how long she thought it took for the Army to realize what had happened. She responded, "Oh, they knew immediately. It was pretty evident right away. All the other soldiers on the ridgeline suspected that's exactly what happened." While the shooting has since been described as accidental, some have their doubts. Not only was Tillman shot 3 times in the head, the back of the head.
Oh my God.
But he was also shot at close range, and there was no evidence of enemy fire anywhere near them, unlike the Army's initial report of the incident that stated that they came under fire. So if there were no enemies nearby, what the American soldier was shooting at. In 2007, it was revealed that Army doctors examined Tillman's body, were suspicious of close proximity of the bullet wounds in his head. They even tried and ultimately failed to convince authorities to investigate his death.
But they didn't. So the doctors encouraged it, and they didn't.
Because of the autopsy, likely. And then so that means that the direct head of whoever was there, at either the cop or the FOB, denied it. Let me see. Yeah, they believe that Tillman had been shot by an M16 rifle from just 10 yards away. Remember when I told you it was close enough that it could not have been enemy?
3 rounds to the back of the head from 10 meters away.
And then again, likely even closer in his body, I think. It was evidently shelved and not released to the public for years.
It's messed up.
I think he's mentioned, I haven't read all the way through the book, but the Afghanistan Papers, which has all of the ins and outs of the public contracting and everything that happened during the Afghan war, I have. This is probably brought up in it. As it turned out, Pat Tillman's brother Kevin was on the same mission that day, but Kevin was not present when Pat was killed. So naturally, the secret had to be kept
Also
from him as
sus.
well. So, and it was kept from him as well. Much like his mother, Kevin was initially left in the dark about how Pat died. Even when the truth came out about the friendly fire, they still felt that they weren't getting details.
It's messed up.
It's just weird.
The army knows who it was, for sure.
Probably.
And then right here it says, while there were some soldiers who wanted to tell the truth, they were allegedly silenced. In April of 2007, Specialist Brian O'Neill, the last person to see Tillman alive, testified that his superiors warned him not to tell the media nor Tillman's family.
Yeah, they know who it is. They know who it is.
Yeah, they know exactly who it is.
And in July of that same year, 2 prominent lawmakers of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform accused Bush officials and the Pentagon of actively withholding documents of his death.
Gosh dang it, Bush.
Who
was I? Was it Blake and I? Blake, were you
Bush
and I
is my
talking?
favorite band, dude. No lie.
Was it you and I, Blake, that were talking the other day about the SEALs or whatever that committed all the war crimes and then tried to cover it up like as an entire unit? Was that?
I think you were telling me about it at work.
Yeah. What are y'all familiar with that, or do y'all remember that? It was like
Yeah.
They committed like the stack of war crimes and they all vouched for each other, and then their command found out that they did it, and then command vouched for them, and it became this whole thing, and like all of them ended up getting charged or something. It just like a couple years ago.
Is that the one where the medic came forward?
Yeah, the girl medic. Or no?
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if there's a female
girl or not.
I was going to say there has never been a
I don't
female
know if
SEAL
it was
yet.
a man or woman. I just know.
Maybe I'm mixing my stories up.
Maybe I am too. But I'm pretty sure I remember hearing of a medic coming forward.
We've literally posted her face in our group chat before as like a joke. I can't remember her name.
No, are you guys talking about the SEALs who killed the Raider?
Yeah. And
Yep. It was a Green Beret that they choked out. It was after a bar fight or something like that. I think they ganged up on him, and then he ended up him being dead.
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty sure it's the
guilty
same.
On Thursday as part of a plea deal for the role of death in Army Staff Sergeant Logan Melgar, a Green Beret in Mali, in June of 2017. Adam Matthews was one of 4 Special Operations Service members who faced murder and involuntary manslaughter charges in the strangulation death of Melgar.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. But
Okay,
I do
'cause I
remember
when
that
this
too.
happened.
I remember that. There's been a lot of fucked up shit that's come.
Yeah,
mainly
the
from,
one I'm specifically thinking of, for some reason I thought it was SEALs,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. But it was like their entire team like got together and all got their stories straight for the interview, like for the AAR, and then somehow like Command later found out, and then Command was like,
which I mean,
trying to keep.
I don't even know how you accomplish that. I can't even get fucking people to agree on something, much less get stories straight.
So
I
real
wish I
quick,
could-
by the way, just this is just slightly off topic because I typed up sealed unit charge just to try to see if it would have potentially popped up because Rob O'Neill had been arrested for assault and public intoxication in Texas, I think a year ago or something like that.
You mean Rob Lowe?
But Rob, don't do that. But it actually says now every time that he's ever mentioned, it always says former Navy SEAL who said he killed Osama bin Laden. On anything to do with Rob O'Neill, it will say Navy SEAL who says he did it.
Well, because if I'm not mistaken, that's the case. That there's no solid evidence that concludes he's the one that killed bin Laden.
Just his book and his opinion, but his team guys tell him or have said on record he was not in this like an initial stack, that he had shot the body when he came back in. But
he shot dead bin Laden and was like, see, it was my bullet that killed him. I'm sure of it.
See, I killed him.
They're gonna remember me forever. I'm gonna write a fucking book.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all the other guys didn't care to be the one to do it because they would have been too popular. It brings too much light to what SEAL team does, or at least
well, yeah, I mean,
guy.
and that's kind of what a whole aspect of a lot of that is
That's
like
the whole
most
point
of the guys that
special
actually
operations is to be almost invisible.
Yeah, it's like most of the guys that have like, super cool, high, big track records aren't the ones like Tim Kennedy, you know, blasting their face everywhere. I was this, I was that, or, you know, developed by a U.S. Navy SEAL or, you know, whatever products. Like, there are exceptions to that.
I've done some things I've done some things in the military that I think have been pretty fucking cool and pretty fun, but I'm not out here like bragging about it and like trying to make it seem cooler than it was and try to use it for personal gain, you know, like yeah, like, I mean, if somebody asks me about it, I'll tell them, you know.
Like, I think it's your right, you know, if you've been through or experienced certain things to, you know, market yourself. Like, I don't disagree that you can market yourself. Like, some of my good buddies that were in Ukraine, like, they're much better off now. That's by no reason why they went over there, but, you know, they have, you know, this or that, or they've been able to pick up certain gigs or, you know, things like that because of what they did. And they've been able to market themselves well. I mean, same thing with, like, what's a good example? Tonto from the Benghazi stuff. Yep. He's probably one of my favorite, I mean, not to say he hasn't had bad hot takes or has some bad, you know, whatever, but he's been kind of one of the more humble, but also marketable people that came out of that.
BJ and them too. Yeah. Like, they really didn't
true
broadcast that too much.
Wait, who'd you say, Zach?
BJ.
Who was
most of those guys that came out of that were actually relatively humble and wholesome about it.
In fact, several of them still wouldn't want to be identified like Jack.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, yeah, several of them.
But Tonto specifically kind of marketed himself while also still staying humble, you know, unlike a lot of people that would have been in his position.
And I mean, that was like, for him just to kind of get the story out in general because of what happened. Not because of he was involved, but because of what had just happened.
Yeah.
I think for that circumstance, it was just... Like,
yes, how it exactly. Because that was kind of a very important story that had a, you know, very serious precedent and connotation behind it.
And was not being covered. That was the other big thing too.
Was not being covered and
still hasn't been. I mean, with the exception of the movie and the really small, like, crowd that...
The emails are gone.
Oh, yeah. She deleted the emails. But, like, honestly, that still hasn't gotten the coverage it deserves, other than, like, the niche community that knows about it, and honestly, I would consider that still a niche community. But, like, that's a messed up situation, and that's just... And these are... We talk about these are the ones we know about. Like, you know, these are just the sus ones that have come to light. Like, Benghazi, Lone Survivor, this, that, the Bin Laden stuff, you know, like, all that's just kind of, like, what has been known to the public. Yeah, we got hella sidetracked, but this is a great conversation.
We really went down the rabbit hole there.
We're doing something right, because we have, like...
After that conversation, I definitely need to state on the record that anything I say is my own personal opinion and does not reflect that of my employer
needs to be
or the Department of Defense.
Operator Conspiracy Iceberg.
Yeah. Dude, we should make one. Traven's in our live chat right now.
We take like a week just to actually research like the deepest, darkest of like weird, like interconnected agency DoD shit, and we do.
We got to get one to help us, bro.
There's another guy that did one like that.
Warcrimes tier list. Warcrimes tier list.
Actually,
Warcrimes tier list.
One guy did a CIA iceberg already.
Oh. We should invite him to our podcast.
Necessary information. He's actually cool.
Let's shift a little bit. We do need to do a tier list or something soon, though. That would be actually sick. Like a tier list like that, war crime tier list. But I'm serious. Or just like sus US operations. But yeah.
We gotta open it up to the rest of the world too. I mean, you can't.
Dude, we'd be here for eternity.
You can't do a war crime tier list without having the most famous one of all time.
Does it involve Blue Tiger Stripe?
No, but there are a lot of good ones that do.
Yeah, hit up Operator.
No, I was talking about the first one that really went like internet viral. Do you remember the Australian guys?
Oh, isn't that Sasser team that essentially rode out
Yeah.
Apache like side wings because their unit got fucked up? They went back out, killed the fucking
Yeah.
guy who did it, took his head, and brought it back to base. Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
No, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
sick.
was the one that got Sasser dissolved.
Oh.
Wait. Okay. Wait.
Then I guess I know of it. I didn't know the details of it.
Yeah. So what's
Dude.
Somebody break that down for me.
So
Okay, so-
you remember that video that got really famous of the Sasser guys walking out through the field in Afghanistan, and he's like, "Oh, you want me to drop this cannon?" Like that video. So
I think so. Yeah.
there is a lot more to that story than just that video.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
More research.
Because all the
needed.
rest would immediately be like live feed would be leaked on the top right of the video, like anything else.
Yeah, it got real dark after that. Yeah.
Damn.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't
'cause
really
I'm
know
pretty
there
sure
was
they
a
went
backstory
full
to it.
Regalia, like there was guys I'm pretty sure that were unarmed, and they were just shooting them anyways. Like like they were to the point, very similar to Battle of Haditha, where they were just like, "Fuck it, everybody dies." It's like a Ron
Yep.
playthrough, you know. Like you're not gonna tell anybody like you need to comply. It's like your compliance is a sucking chest wound.
Yeah, and the wild part is, Homeboy was wearing a body cam for a lot of it. For
Self-incriminating.
a lot of it. Like, my guy, turn it off at least.
Like, be like the U.S. cops and turn your body cam off before you commit atrocities. All right,
Like, how
Moo-moo.
dumb are you?
we can circle back to this next week. Let's make a tier list. Hi. Let's
Source.
throwing it back to the pre-podcast.
Throw back to that lore, you know.
The lore, the mom lore. What are some goals for y'all this year? For me personally, we'll kind of start wrapping up here. We're an hour and 15 in. For me, I'm gonna pick up new pair of nods. Haven't had nods in a bit now, and remember, 50% of your life is spent at night. So if you can't see it in the dark and your
Eat carrots,
the people
bro.
you're fighting are, then you got yourself a problem. So work on a new pair of nods.
Carrots, bro.
Don't
Do
eat
some more
carrots.
training. Yeah,
Or
eat
bro,
more
just
carrots.
Keep a fuck
Bags.
ton of white light on
Carrots.
you and white light the fuck out of the people with nods.
Carrots
Okay.
help keep
That's
the
what
health
I'm gonna
of
do,
your
okay?
eyes
'Cause I'm too
focal,
poor
but
for
they do
nods.
not aid in actual like making your eyes better. Okay?
So if I order a
That-
truckload of carrots, I can't see it
Zach,
in the
shut
night?
the
you will
fuck
turn
up.
orange before you have night
I'm
vision.
trying to make
Okay,
a point.
that was
All right,
started by the British Air Force because all they could really get their guys was a bunch of carrots, and they couldn't get other food because during the wartime England was really short on fucking food. So they gave them a ton of carrots and said this will help you see better.
for ya.
It was propaganda. Psyop.
Carrots on toast.
So is it like Haley Lejeune or no? Because someone told me she was a psyop and I didn't believe them.
You mean Luhan?
100%, dude.
Haley
Yeah.
Lejeune.
Oh, I thought it was.
Luhan.
Gosh dang it! I've said it wrong.
We say
for so
say
long.
this every time. He does this
She
every episode,
even
and we
has
correct
to.
him every time.
Bio even has pronunciation.
Well, that's gonna show up on my portfolio that someone's clipped one day. Haley Lejeune.
From now on, if we do a fob or a cop at a event, an airsoft event, it has to be like a fob Haley Lejeune, dude.
Is this gonna be like my
I have a lot of those, so
what did I say? Like the NAACP or something?
yeah.
No,
Oh.
you said the NCAA. NCAAP.
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
NCAA instead of
and then I said Matt Lowe,
Rob Lowe.
Man.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
I can't. I'm not great with names. I'm good with faces. I'm not good with names, really. Dude.
There just needs to, for one of our episodes, we just need to upload the blooper clips from
Yeah.
each one. Like
I'm only calling Luhan Lejeune now.
this whole
She's gonna be at
time.
the next. She's gonna be at the Milsim Hawaii event in February.
Sell her
Oh,
time
I'll
out.
be like,
Get-
Specialist
If you wanna come out and
Lejeune.
get psyop in person.
She's not a specialist anymore. She's a corporal now.
Oh my
Ew,
God.
that's
Corporals
literally
are
a
real.
lateral
That's why I
upgrade.
said that.
It's literally a lateral upgrade. with that's horrible. Yeah, so my goal, nods. I want to do some more traveling and possibly a job change coming up. I have some pretty solid potential opportunities that I can't speak on right now, but yeah, potential job change coming up. Very excited for at least even just the opportunities that have opened up. So that nods. And a new mid-tier combat rifle. That's all we'll say on that topic.
Does anybody else want to go next? I'll go next if I've got.
I mean, y'all all actually all have to say something. I was just, that
Go
this is
for
an
it.
open
No,
floor.
no. Everybody's got to say something. Everybody's got to say something.
My goals for the most part, because I'm restarting on a lot, so I'm hoping my job that I'm going into will help provide a bit more for our arcade that's coming along, but also for me to be able to like start channeling more into gear again. Because I do want to stick with that, and since my resources are now going to open up, that I'll be closer to friends for better training. Because at the time, one of the difficult things about Tennessee was trying to find dudes in Nashville area to want to train with. All of them are like in Chattanooga and shit. It was really hard. And Tennessee is such an elongated state. Like I had like a state group chat. Most of them were all over here. I'm over here. There was like one dude in Memphis, but that's still like 3 hours from me because I'm like the edge of Middle Tennessee. So yeah, it was hard. Zach. We're back home. All right.
Did you just move from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Oh my fucking god!
Did you join the Appalachian?
That won't be the only 10 that you'll find inside of my brain once I go and kill myself after the podcast.
Yeah, bro. Did you join the ARA?
No, I was invited and I looked into doing it, but we didn't have the Durango at the time, so I actually was like just a few weeks short of everything that happened of joining. Believe it or not.
Well, I better watch what I say. I don't want the Super Ranger Task Force after me.
Yeah. What is it? Gold team or whatever.
Yeah, there was gold and there was black. And,
yeah, who ended up doing the full interviews on that? Was that
It was Seaburnart.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember.
Oh, wait, no.
Spoiler alert: we know someone that was interviewed personally. He's a clown. You shouldn't listen to anything he had to say.
He's actually a nice guy, but that's as far as it goes.
He's also a clown.
Wait, hold on. He's a nice guy.
You could call it a nice guy.
Nice guy, yeah.
Stop.
Anywho,
it's okay, bro. I think people
I'm sorry,
can handle
guys.
it.
That just makes me want to throw
people
the
can handle
SKS out my door.
I actually just told somebody that story
on another
a couple
note,
days ago.
You guys have not listened to Seaburnart's expose on the Appalachian Ranger Association. You really should.
And that's kind of what
on
we're
the
getting
podcast. The Seaburnart podcast.
Yeah, they're also doing another one.
The Art and More show.
Yeah,
old man throws SKS at clouds.
I don't know if people will be doing it, but I know BR is looking into it currently. But there had been some expose about FM, so we'll see what comes of that.
Oh,
I've been waiting for
who's BR?
I fucking heard about that. That's really
Revolutions. He's the one. He's the British anarchist. He's the one that does all of their editing and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know if I know him.
Producer, host.
Yeah, I don't know if I know him.
His British accent's kind of starting to go away a little bit, and I'm sad.
Yeah.
He's like getting better at like masking it, but
it's not going to help when he starts learning more Appalachia.
Yeah, it's still there. You can hear it.
How does he feel when he wakes up every morning and he's just like, "Oh fuck, I got to do the accent." Like
another day of doing the accent.
Nothing but love for BR. If he
goals is our last topic. We're not doing any current events because we are the only current event that matters.
Well,
God, my dog.
You're the current event. It's you. You're special. You're current, and you're an event.
Thanks, man. My other long-term goal is I want to get a suppressor. I'm looking at trying to see if Silencer Shop will let me make payments on one.
Don't ask for permission. Sorry.
Yeah, here. Let me just go. Tactically acquire a suppressor from a
no. It's tactically inquire.
Tactically inquire.
Tactically inquire.
Sir, could I please have one?
I swear to God, you're gonna make me do a fucking a glory hole on my AR lower.
Yeah, yeah. That's a goal for me this year. Also,
I love putting glory holes on things they don't belong on, especially.
if
registered.
anybody's if anybody's familiar with the meme, I'm gonna put a hot tub on my back patio.
Let me think. What else?
If you know, you know.
Definitely gonna try to get a house. Maybe we'll see. Because I don't
Don't
wanna
burn
do
it
random
down.
Stuff.
Again.
Sad face, sad face.
Yeah, I plan on getting a newer home for that reason. That it'll already be within electrical code, gentlemen. Thank you. As well as because I have some electrical experience now. But anyway, I want to make sure it's on a little bit of land at least because I want to be more comfortable with that. But doing gardening, no HOAs is like literally
Chickens.
If there's an HOA, there's going to be grounds that I'm going to go to jail because I will firebomb. I'm sorry, not toilet paper the fucking office
Tickle,
if they try to
tickle.
charge me for my grass
Hold on,
being a
hold
quarter
on,
of an
Art
inch
and
too
Ward.
high.
Tickle.
Swear to God. Let me think.
Are you saying you're gonna do
Egg.
a mailing campaign, if you will?
Well, yeah, because we have to vote them into the board, so I figured I'd vote by mail. It's there was this political
Oh my
philosopher known as Ted Kaczynski. He said that voting by mail is probably the
Theodore.
best way.
You
Theodore
could also, if your HOA gets in the way, there is a bulldozer if you ever need to shorten your grass a little bit.
When's the last
kids,
time you learned some algebra?
Public school.
In public school.
I wasn't there for too long because I was homeschooled.
Same. That's actually how we know each other.
Wow.
That's
Whoa.
also how we know Jamie, and Jamie's how we know Ian.
Doxing.
Well, actually, that's not how you know me. Well, I mean, it is, but it's not because I was there with you. We won't go into that backstory.
We gotta elude them. They can look into that and they'll be like, they've been lying.
It
this
has
whole time.
something to do with Sean's ex was friends with my ex, and
Oh yeah, that was...
yeah, that was Max
whole other
cringe. Max
Messy.
cringe.
Other than the house, mostly on some land, and just like chilling with the dudes.
Sean's
about it.
face.
Chilling with the
Like,
bros.
my goals. I can't set myself up for too much expectation because I'll get too excited.
Chilling with the
and I fail
bros.
myself.
Wheezing the juice.
It's something for mine. I want to do like more stuff with the boys, some more mill sims and stuff.
You already went.
All
right, we're passing the speaking stick to either
Sorry.
fucking mask dude or we're.
I have the talking towel.
Oh fuck.
Shut up. I have the talking stick.
Blake the greaser can go. Our handsome.
Yeah, let's see what the Armenian delegation has to say.
I just want to travel some. I want to
go back to your homeland? I'm sorry. I'll stop.
He hasn't talked the entire podcast. And he keeps
You
cutting
don't
it
have
off.
the talking stick.
I'm gonna turn my mic off.
He did hold up the gun. Yeah, I think that's about as far as I've gotten. My goals. Sean's dying over here. Sean, how about you? What are your goals?
Proceeds to die more.
So, like you said, travel a little bit. I haven't really, I enjoy traveling, and like the past several years, I haven't because I've been too busy with just life, and yeah. So I really want to try to do that this year, and kind of set a goal for the future because I kind of don't have one. I've just been playing it by ear, and
I think actually we all have in this right now, from my general understanding.
Give me.
well, yeah. Well,
I've had
some of
goals.
you
I
have
just fucking
more-
suck. So
some of you have a little bit more going on for your future than I do.
All right, well, I don't have
Yeah,
any
I'm
goals.
always scared of goals because I set them and then I just disappoint myself like I have my entire family's bloodline.
oh my god.
Zach, you've never disappointed me for what it's worth.
Or me.
Well, that's good because I was the one that
You
set
are
the fire.
enough.
No.
I watched
No!
Barbie, by the way.
I don't think he even heard you.
He doesn't have to.
No,
not ready for
no.
the
What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say?
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
You already said it.
You can't.
I'm not
handle
saying
it.
what he said. I wasn't the one that said it.
That's not
Sean,
good.
what are your goals this year?
So yeah, traveling, kind of coming up with a plan for the future. I mean that sounds really shitty, but
They're trying to sell that Wagoneer and no one wants it. It's like the biggest challenge JT's gonna face this year, dude.
and then I had thought of something else, and then it just slipped my fucking mind.
Unlike the Wagoneer.
Try to delve more into music as like an artistic thing.
Well, I think that is close to,
Still,
if
yeah,
not
brother.
really close to the definition of music. So, good job, buddy. I'm proud of you.
Hell.
I
Wow.
hate you guys, man.
No, you don't. You love us. We love you too.
You're right, I do. Oh, you fucking abuse me.
Dude, you abuse yourself. Those rhino pills are not good for your heart or your dick.
I forgot that's how we started off the podcast.
Oh yeah, because Jamie doesn't like to do cold starts and just start them.
Bro, cold start. If we did cold starts, we would have been canceled 6 months ago. We would all be in jail and canceled.
And we just need to put. Just need to put Draven's face on the cover. They can't cancel him. He's literally
we need to get Draven back in here so we
Cancel
have
proof. No. Wait. Do we have any Jewish homies?
We do not.
He's right. Literally by law at this point, we are untouchable.
Honestly, Ian,
wait, hold on.
We need to. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
about
a
that.
waste
We need
to
to
assume
stop
that.
right there. That is how we actually get canceled.
Is it racist to assume we're uncancelable if we have this very specific demographic of person they just so happen to make laws to protect? Are we the baddies?
I'm
Ian,
out
your
of it.
turn.
Oh yeah.
What?
Wait, or you haven't gone yet, have you?
For what?
Goals?
Oh, goals. Let's see. Well, we're moving the business back to the mainland this year.
Heyo!
Along with our lives.
Yeet.
So that's cool.
It's big sad and
I
big
think
happy at the same time.
My main goal for that is to get back up and running and get ready to hopefully start going to trade shows this year as a company. That was a goal. That was a goal for this year anyway. Before I found out we were gonna.
What if we could
shop,
go as the homies to trade shows?
Like what? What do you mean?
What if I could go as your journalist?
Well,
yeah, we have to have some kind of media presence to do that.
We are the media. This is a form of media.
I am the media.
The devil drives Lada media.
It's just like getting one of those big fucking patches for your plate carrier that just says press.
Yeah.
And just walk in.
I have one that says fact checker in giant letters.
Oh man.
I also have another one that says inactive shooter, but we don't need to talk about that.
You get like a little Sharpie. You get in a firefight. You go, wait, hold on, and you just cross out the
eye.
It is now an active shooter.
Oh god, I'm gonna get fucking canceled.
I don't know, man. I want to upgrade my nods this year, but that's probably gonna be after I pay for like a house and shit. So
Dude's
maybe
like,
not
yeah,
this
man,
year
I got
actually.
this entire overland rig. Oh, I want to turn my dual tubes into like quadruple whammy nods.
No,
White
I just want
phosphor
to. I just want to
L3s.
change housings, man. I just want to change housings. That's all I
DT and
want.
VGs
I'm not gonna.
or 15s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the 1531s have really been looking attractive to me lately, but
Mhm.
I really want the newer LLI housing, but it's so fucking expensive. Oh
Well,
my God.
who just dropped a housing literally this month? Who was it?
I don't know. I'm poor, so I don't really keep up with
I
it.
don't
that
remember.
Hold on,
closely.
Someone
hold on.
dropped a new
Somebody
housing
in
this
another-
month that I thought was super sick, and now I can't remember what it is.
That's the
Somebody
one
in
I was.
another group
I think
chat
I was
sent me
talking
one.
about.
Let me
Yeah,
see if I can find it.
Low Light Innovations just dropped the MH1 on January 1st.
Oh, maybe that is it.
Yeah, it's an articulating alloy housing, which is
low light.
Nothing come up on Google. Big dumb. Stand by. I'm gonna do NVG too. How do you spell NVG?
No, it was not LLI that I saw.
Was it Nocturne?
Low Light
Mhm.
Innovations.
Yeah,
Yeah, the MH1.
yeah.
That's not what I saw. Someone else dropped a housing this month.
Well, you're dumb.
Yeah, it was Nocturne.
Was it that one I
Yeah.
sent you with the
Hot
quad
press, Tremere bridges have begun. Oh, this is for quads only.
Yeah.
was that the
The
mounting
Chimera
thing I
bridge.
showed
Oh
you?
yeah, no, that is what I saw because I thought it was super sick that
There-
they folded. Yeah,
That's
but
just
none
a
of us have
bridge.
quads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
That's
bridge,
just a
but
bridge.
it's the first of its kind, which is just neat. It's
Yes.
just really neat.
I because I remember I read their pre-order like Instagram page, and I was like, oh, that's super sick, and now I completely forgot that it was quad and kind of irrelevant to.
That is super
Us.
cool, but I would
That
argue that the
literally
MH1 is cooler because you get all of the benefits of an alloy housing like the RNVG, but you also
Hold
get
up.
all of the benefits of something like a
What is
DTNVS, where
that?
you get articulation
fair.
and individual pod shut off and all that shit.
Because what I wanted to
Nice.
mention was that a lot of the things that we critique about quads, Nocturne said in their comments, they're working on a civilian format of quad nods that are supposed to be half price, if that.
Well, Argus already came out with
specifically to
that. They
Yeah,
dropped the quad
Like, but
housing
to the-
recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was going to say, like,
Yeah,
but
commercially
Nocturne
available.
wanted to make their own to actually make it affordable, as well as to basically go against several of the reasons that people have kind of like
I'll
hated
be right
quads.
back.
One of which was that mounting solution. That was one of the things that Nocturne did to establish that. And then they're also apparently working on not just a housing, but I think their entire makeup piece for quad nods, but affordable.
interesting. See, my thing with quads is if I ever own a pair of quads, it will be balls to the wall, like proper GP and VGs, because to me, I would rather have high spec duals, like L3 filmless, like white phos kind of stuff, than have like 4, matching mid tier tubes.
Not to mention, I was going to say there's actually almost some admin pros to having just the duals, because what's
by
around,
far.
you can actually kind of like just peer under the the eyeglass of those to see like any kind of JTAC stuff or ATAC using
Yes.
like any kind of communication device like that, as well as that's how they teach guys if they weren't shooting passive or with laser. That's one of the ways that they'd actually, like, if you were going up into a lighted area, instead of flipping these up and then potentially them catching on whatever you're
Mhm.
going up into, but obviously we have articulating, they'd actually peer either over or under the eyelids onto their whatever optic they've got running. So they'd be like this. That's why in Zero Dark 30 you can kind of do that with quads, but that was like a huge thing for going into all of a sudden a well-lit area, and if something's going to stick up like fucking antlers, you don't want it hitting the door frame, so they'd do this, cock way up, and they'd aim underneath the eyepiece.
Yeah. There's many people don't quite understand like the concept. They're like, quad nods equal the best, and realistically,
That's peripheral. That's about it. All they got.
yeah,
is
like I would say
field of view.
probably 6-7 times out of 10, you would be actually better off with a good set of duels.
Agreed. Duels have
There's quads
many
are
pros, if not
evolving,
more.
and things like what Nocturne's releasing are solving a lot of the issues that we collectively have with quads, like the bulkiness, they don't articulate, there's a list of different issues with quad nods, other than just simply the price.
They're also
Now-
a very sensitive unit altogether, too.
Mhm.
Currently, anyway.
I have heard people argue for just the single monocular and how that's better.
No.
I know,
It's-
like, I don't. My knowledge about nods is not enough to comment. So
It's an argument that has been
PBS
made.
14 single better than no night vision? Absolutely. Is it
Yeah.
better than a PBS 7? Yes, it fucking is. However,
because I mean, obviously, the only thing I have experience on is PBS 14.
are bridged PBS 14s better than a single? Yes.
I loved my Bridge 14s. Only
I loved your Bridge
For-
14s too.
thanks, buddy. For
Those
two
were so
reasons.
fun to play with.
The versatility that a bridge offers. I can drop one and put like a breach or an NH25 on there or something like that. And then or I could just, run one and pass one off to a friend. However, I hated bridged and really anything bridge just due to the sheer weight they add. But yeah. There is an argument to be made for bridged 14s or a single 14 and like a Fleer breach, but I don't know of anyone that would be like a single PVS 14 is the way to go.
I mean, I've heard the argument, but my knowledge is not great enough to
It depends on your application
anything
also.
of merit.
All wrong.
Wrong.
Well, think about it like this. If you just wanted something low visibility, why not a PVS 14? That may be the best solution because you can put a PVS 14 and a Skull Crusher in your pocket and walk away with it. You can't do that with a pair of goggles and a helmet and all of that shit.
That's fair. You can't run a Skull Crusher with binos.
Because
Or
that's
duals.
how
You know what
run
also
the
crushes
desert.
skulls,
There's
kid?
the
You know
whole
what
units
else it
out
does?
in the
Okay.
desert for trees trying to find the knots.
223.
I wish I could understand either of you guys.
We had a Trump impression. He was talking about his experience with everyone just trying to find the lost set of nods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a fair argument. I never actually thought about that. Is
Well,
you can't run a Skull
yeah,
Crusher with
it
anything
just-
heavier than a single 14.
It just
But
depends
then
what your
there's
application
options.
is.
All right, well, we should wrap this up before we deep dive into more.
Yeah,
lore.
probably. I'm done. I'm out of things to talk about, and we're in an hour and
Just a
45 in.
caveat: the way to go is just white light the fuck out of everybody with nods. That
you
is the
don't- If
superior
you
way.
don't specifically use Tula ammunition with a muzzle brake that lights up the entire fucking room,
You're doing it wrong.
Exactly.
You're not doing it wrong.
It's
come on,
Draco
dude.
season.
You know what? Here,
Drake
you know what?
is
That's your takeaway for this week. It's a great advice. Use it every time.
Draco season.
All right, I'm done. Y'all good?
Yep.
All right.
Good.
Thanks for watching, homies. We will catch you guys on the next episode. I won't promise that it's going to be Sunday, but it will be on a upcoming Sunday. And
It'll be
happy
on
2020. It'll be on. So happy 2024, and we'll catch you guys again soon.